Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Popcorn Podcast. I'm Tommy Cresta. Alongside me, my co-host, Ryan Ferran. If my voice sounds a little bit off, I started a new job where I'm talking a lot, so I don't sound as great as I normally do. But today we are joined by creator, filmmaker, and longtime internet personality, Danny DeRito. 4.9 million followers on TikTok, 3.4 million followers on YouTube. He's built himself a nice indie filmmaking career, too, with Pollo Loco, Sunset, Stolen G Fuel. He has a new project that we're going to talk about more, Hunters. And yeah, just wanted to welcome you to the show. This is your second time on the show, but this time we're going to talk more about movies and not as much about video games.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Of course. I remember we tried to set this up before, but we didn't really have a movie to talk about. But with Ryan's big obsession with dinosaurs, I thought it'd be a great time to bring Derek back on to talk about Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor film. And yeah, I guess hopping right into it, but I really enjoyed it. Ryan, I know you feel a little bit differently, but let's have our guest talk first before you get all grumpy in your corner.
I really enjoyed it too, but I can definitely see why some people might not like it as much. So, like I was saying before we started, I actually went and saw it a second time because there was some issues with the projector the first time I saw it, and it just like cut out in the middle of the movie, and when it came back on, they had skipped like 15 to 20 minutes of the movie right before the third act. So it totally just like ruined the experience. But I still had a really good time. So, seeing it a second time, it actually like held up. So yeah, I really liked it. But
Ryan?
Tom, do you remember when we saw The Northman and the projector broke and we had to rewatch the movie? We got like half an hour into the movie.
Oh yeah, and they restarted it.
So the only way to do it was to restart the movie. So we just had to watch the full like half hour that we already saw just over again. We're like, all right.
And this was the virtual premiere of this.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a random like going to. This was in Philly at the Ritz, this big hotel event. Yeah, and they got like 30 minutes in. They were like, "Okay, guys, we're gonna restart the movie now," and just restarted with trailers. Though they played trailers that didn't play.
Oh, that's a long movie too, isn't it? It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a longer movie. That's not when we got the ticket, right, Ryan? That was Babylon, right?
Yeah, I got a parking ticket. No, yeah, Babylon. I got a parking ticket. Bullshit. The PPA is a genuine terrorist organization. I hate the PPA. Philadelphia Parking Authority is the worst.
They're terrible.
They're awful. I parked in a spot that was like 3-hour parking. Great. Okay, this movie's 2 hours long. I got there. I think I did the math too. We parked at like 7. We were there for less than 3 hours. Got back to the car. Ticket. I look at the ticket. It was there. It was like 7:30 was the time they gave me the ticket. I was like, what the hell is even the point of the 3-hour parking sign if I can't park for 30 minutes?
I'm so happy I'm not in Philadelphia anymore. It's so beautiful. But Ryan, let's go to you first, and then I'll answer after that.
I think with this movie, it wasn't good. It was very dumb. Some of the like character decisions and stuff in the movie was very much like dumb horror movie character just making the wrong decision, being stupid. But what I will say is that, at 2:30 on a random Monday in August, did I enjoy myself for an hour and a half? Sure, absolutely. Was this movie good? Hell no, it wasn't good. But I still had some fun with it. So I didn't like, it's not good, but it's an enjoyable time. I think it's still worth seeing if you like dinosaurs. It's fun.
See, coming from me, I'm the person I'm not a huge dinosaur person. The first Jurassic Park, of course, is a fantastic, iconic film. But outside of that, dinosaurs just aren't something I'm super into, except the movie Dinosaurs on Disney. I watched on Disney Plus the other night. Great movie. But when I was watching this, I was like, Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, I got to check it out. And I knew I brought up that we're going to have Derek on. So I went into this very open-minded. I went at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And I walked out like, wow, that was so much fun. It was such a different story. And I felt like it was to me, it was like an old school kind of movie idea that they did now, which I kind of wish they would do more of. It felt very original. It was different than what we see a lot of the time. Smaller budget, which still this kind of like epic science fiction feel to it. And I really enjoyed myself. You could definitely feel J.J. Abrams had his hand on this project a lot. I was really nervous they were going to tie it into Cloverfield. I was like, please, God, don't do this again.
I wanted them to.
Dude, everything he touches, he just has to.
It's Cloverfield. Derek, did you watch the one for the Cloverfield that came out like 5 years ago. I don't even.
The Cloverfield Paradox? Yes, I did.
Yes.
And
I
I
never
thought like
saw it.
I think the first half was interesting, and then you can tell that it was just like they had so many issues. I don't know how much you guys have looked into the production of this movie, but considering like they cut it down from like 3 hours, and also did reshoots to make those cuts a little more seamless. Watching it a second time, I couldn't tell like what was reshoots and what wasn't personally, which sometimes it's very obvious, but I think for the length and the way the pace of it worked and everything, it was very efficient. I think it's a really good popcorn movie that is character driven enough to make me care. And I would be curious to hear, Ryan, what decisions bothered you, because watching it a second time, I paid more attention to like the motivations behind the decisions. I mean, I think a lot of people are underestimating the bond between a boy and his childhood dog. I think if I was him, I'd go after my dog too if I thought the world was ending. But yeah, like what else? I mean, the parents going after the kids like that. I mean, I think that motivation
of
is
course, like
pretty obvious.
I do get it. It's if the kid didn't go out to look for the dog, you don't have a movie. Things have to happen to have a movie. But it is just that thing where it's like just the dumb decisions. I'm not like furious at the movie. I'm not saying it like that, but some of the stuff, and then like at the end, some of the stuff was just like just happens, especially with the end when what's her name, Jeanette goes and looks for her parents, and they say like she's never gonna make it in time, and then at the very end of the movie, she's just fine. She made it out. Like it's just little stuff like that where things kind of just happen, rather than there being a good explanation for it. I just felt like there were a few of those moments throughout the movie that kind of bugged me. But again, like I rolled my eyes a little bit, but I still just shoved it off and had fun. Like this isn't a bad, crazy bad movie. It's just some things here and there kind of make you go like, okay, this is just happening for the sake of it happening. But still not terrible. Nothing like upsetting.
I don't think she said she wasn't gonna make it. She said that they needed to stay together. Like she didn't want like the family to split up again because she doesn't know what was going to happen. And then, I think she obviously did have enough time to save her parents because Anne Hathaway saved like a bunch of people, like not just her husband, But
but even that was kind of weird because she makes like you see her make the one phone call. Like things can happen off screen for sure, but I just kind of wish because I didn't know when you said they cut this movie down from 3 hours.
Yeah, I think they cut out a lot of that. Because they jump like almost the full 20 minutes, and it's like, oh yeah, she could have made a bunch of phone calls.
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of those moments where like they look at something, like when they go to the house at the end, the house with the portal, like they see it from across the town, and then they're just there in the next shot. Like I think this movie would have been better if they didn't cut out so much. If it was like maybe not 3 hours. Like
yeah, I mean, you never know with those test screenings, and obviously like the studio is thinking like, okay, like anything above like 2 hours, we start to lose like 1 or 2 screenings a day and things like that. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and I think for the type of movie it was, I think cutting it down was the right move. And I do feel like any decisions that initially I was like, I don't know about that. That's kind of clunky. They all had consequences. And that's where like, as a writer, I feel like, it's less of a cop out if there are consequences, like them arguing about who's going to jump into the portal first. And then the girl just goes, which I was like, whoa, okay. I wasn't expecting that. And then, the son jumping and like busting his leg. Like I didn't expect that.
That was funny.
I think what I liked the most about it was just the direction that what's the director's name? I know he did It Follows. But
David Robert Mitchell. Yeah, and he's doing the sequel. They Follow.
I think for a studio film, I was impressed with how kind of I don't know if edgy is the right word, but just the kind of like creative risks he took in terms of how things unfold and how bloody it gets. And I don't think it's like, because I saw some people saying that it was like one of the goriest PG-13 movies they've ever seen. I wouldn't go that far.
It was definitely
there's
more
true
bloody
grit
than I thought it would be, though.
Yeah, I mean, So the first time I saw it, what we missed was I'm guessing. Do you guys do spoiler alert? We're already talking about a lot of
we
stuff.
go right into spoilers most of the time.
We just spoil it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the dad's death. I mean, I didn't see it. Like, it literally cut, and they're like in the house, and then the snake scene happened. It cut from like the kids meeting up with the girl and saving her, and then all of a sudden the projector went out, and then we're like in the house, and I'm like, where the fuck did the dad go? You know, like that's what I'm like. How far did we skip? And so I missed the dinosaurs doing it, all that, which I thought that was silly, but it was kind of funny. I like
that scene,
like,
actually.
I thought it was funny. Yeah. But the dad's death was like, I was like, damn, okay, I like that. I thought the at first when he like hit him with the sledgehammer, I'm like, okay, he just knocked out the dinosaur, but then it got right back up, and I'm like, oh shit, no, and then he's dead. I mean, that was pretty edgy for like a PG-13 studio family oriented film, you know?
Yeah, I said to Ryan before we recorded, I like how they went with the violence, but, and I don't know, maybe this is better in the second watch. And I can't hold it against the film because it had an $80 million budget to do all these amazing effects throughout the film. I mean, it was a grand scale for what they had. And I just felt like at one point, that scene, particularly when he actually gets bit, was a little clunky to me, at least when I watched it first. I don't know if you noticed it at all. But that was like the one
I did. It looked a little weird.
Problem. That was like the biggest problem I had with the entire project. But cool fact, this filmed like a town over from me, where I live currently now. So it's pretty cool at this awesome studio that I got to. Electric Al, who great friends of the show, and yeah, so pretty cool that they filmed right around the corner.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about though. It almost looked like to me, the leg thing was like they CGI'd out some of the blood and stuff because it looked like it was kind of sanitized.
Yeah, it just felt a little off, but not enough to take me out of the film, but enough for me to be like in the theater watching and be like, okay, that was a little off, but let's keep moving.
How'd you guys feel about the design of the dinosaurs?
Feathers, always do feathers. I'm so for it. I like that they finally did it.
I think that's part of the reason why the dinosaurs look so kind of clunky, though. I will say the CGI, like the budget, you could see that was the limitation there. Yeah. Like anytime they're like getting chased or dinosaurs are running around, they look a little wonky. Yeah. But all the close-up stuff, like, you know, where like that dinosaur kind of like pushes the car into the house and it's like chomping at Anne Hathaway, like that looked really good. The T-Rex chomping at her. Anytime Anne Hathaway is like getting attacked, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Well, that was a blend of it, right? I think I watched.
I think so. Yeah. Anytime they're blending it, it looks
like a practical
great.
thing. And it was the same team actually that worked around with Jurassic Park, Industrial Light and Magic. Cool. So they worked alongside the same team. And Jay Cooper, who I think worked on Jurassic World, was like the head VFX. So it means they had the team around them. They just didn't have whatever. I think Dominion had a $300-something million budget. They didn't. Yeah, have that.
This is
of
like.
Of course, this could be a little harder.
I think they said this is 80 to 90 million was the estimate. Yeah,
so made 40% back opening weekend though. Big weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're saying it is kind of like not meeting expectations though, and I think that kind of sucks. I think the mixed word of mouth is probably leading to that, obviously, and also Spider-Man is just, I mean, killing it.
$2 billion already. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just August is such a hard window for these kind of movies, especially when you have the Odyssey and Spider-Man come out. But I mean, the scores aren't terrible. 86 Rotten Tomatoes, 6.7 IMDb, which I know they probably wish was a little higher, and then 3.2 on Letterboxd. They could all be higher, but I feel like
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4 as well.
On
Ryan, what did you give it?
Yeah, both times.
I gave it 2.5.
2.5? You think it's average?
See, 2.5 to me is below average. 3 is average to me.
2.5 is average for me if we're going on the Letterboxd scale. And to me, I think that what makes it above average is the technical side of it for the budget. I thought the way that it attempts to, you know, build the characters and make you care is above average. I think that some of the narrative choices brought it down for me, like just in terms of like the sister character was the weakest. I definitely think she was the weakest.
Yes.
They didn't really have
Um,
anything to do.
They definitely
yeah,
cut
and I
down
mean,
his one storyline.
Mhm.
yeah, I am seeing some people kind of like hate on it because of like some of the values that it touches on in it, you know, like the God stuff and things like that. So, like I think my review on YouTube, somebody's like, I ain't paying to brainwash my family or something. I'm like, whoa, dude, it's a dinosaur movie, like chill. You know? Uh but yeah, I mean, I think it's a soft 4. I'm not saying this is like, you know, this is a solid 4 out of 5, but I think it's like just a little bit above a 3.5 for me. And I've been watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, so I've been watching a lot of bad movies lately. So maybe that's inflating my score a little bit, but
Yeah.
no,
I
I
gotta
thought it
ask.
was pretty
Oh, I'm
solid
sorry.
for. You got a what, A minus? Were you saying the cinema score or what?
Oh no! I was gonna ask you a question about Texas Chainsaw, but I'll let you finish your whole point. I go off
Oh,
topic too
okay.
much.
No, you're good. But yeah, I think that it's like a very soft 4 out of 5 for me. But you know, if somebody was to say, it's more like a 3.5, I'm not gonna argue with them. I don't think you know, to me, I kind of went into it thinking like, okay, I'm about to see a movie that's targeting families, you know? And I think
Yeah.
that when a film has that goal, it can tend to either like lean too much into that and everything feels sanitized, or you know, it could try to like go a little mature with it, and it definitely went the more mature route. But yeah, I would be very curious to see like what was cut out, you know, like what
Mhm.
how was it originally a 3-hour movie? That's kind
A
of
three
bothering
hour
me,
definitely
but
wouldn't have worked. I feel like 3 would have really.
no.
I mean, I think 2.5 would have been really pushing this. I like the runtime because I feel like it's one of those movies that if you push it too far, it's just gonna drag for a lot of people, and you can only do so many of the
Yeah.
chases with the dinosaurs, and you can only do so much stuff with it. And I feel like if they were gonna do
Yeah.
more, it was gonna be more with the sister and Jeanette. Is that her name? No, yeah, Jeanette, uh, the neighbor. I feel like that was a little bit of the storyline because to me that relationship had no like build up around it, which I kind of, if you're gonna push it, we talked about it a little bit with House of the Dragon, that some of the relationships feel a little like there's no like build up to it. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, and I feel like that's just part of what they cut, like because that relationship is super short.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just like 2 scenes of them kind of looking at each other, and you can tell they're kind of like there's something budding, but you know they don't have the time to go into it. So
Yeah.
would
They
like
did
to
have the scene, and I think I went and used the restroom the first time I saw it, so I missed it the first time. But she has that scene in the car where she's listening to that song. And it's like some, you know, I can't remember which song it is, very popular, but it was definitely touching on like the themes with her character. So they I thought they went more subtle, which I appreciate. Like I for what they did with her character, I definitely liked what they did with it more than like going heavy handed. But I just think that like reducing your character to what it was just kind of like, you know, like I didn't. She was the one I cared the least about, unfortunately.
And funny you
But
speak of that car scene. That was probably one of my favorite scenes because I felt like it hit emotionally. Like this girl has her whole life ahead of her, and it's all just been derailed. She's stuck. Well, at the time of this, she believes she has no future left. She's stuck in this. I can't think of the time period. Someone
yeah,
help me out here.
the
Prehistoric.
I don't know which
what
one
do
it
you
is.
mean? Like where they
Yeah,
yeah,
where they went to, not the
like
80s.
a couple 100 million years in the
Yeah.
past?
I couldn't think. But I actually really like that scene. I feel like that scene worked emotionally for me. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I
Yeah.
just kind of wish there was a little more substance at times, which comes with cutting down half of what the runtime is originally.
Yeah, and I mean, so I'm editing my debut feature right now, and I just what I've been kind of like learning about editing. There, it's not usually as simple as like, oh, let's just shave off a couple of minutes. Like you shave off a couple of minutes, and you're gonna have to like edit complete storylines, you know. And so I'm sure they were like, we have like a 2 hour and 2 hour and 30 minute cut, but we still would like to get it below 2 hours. And so, you know, you just lose a lot doing that. But I think what it sacrificed in terms of like substance, it definitely gained in like pace. Like the pace is pretty solid for what it is. How'd you guys feel about like the ambiguity of it all, like how it all happened and everything?
Ryan, do you want to
I
go
think
first?
an explanation might have been cool, but it's not necessary at all. Like, it's not like this is, a series of movies where you want to learn things over time. I think just, this random thing happened, and that's kind of it. You don't really get an explanation. They never got an explanation. So I think it was fine to leave ambiguous, but I think an explanation could have been cool because they have like the sister is the one who kind of had been reading. I forget the scientist names, but like she knows like what
Like Carl Sagan or something, right?
Yeah, it was Sagan.
Yeah.
So she brings it up like she's the one who kind of figures out it was a wormhole that teleported us to back in time. But I think that's all the explanation you need. I don't think you need much else to just have a fun dinosaur movie.
Yeah, they have the little TV thing at the end, which just kind of talks about like scientists are kind of stumped, but talking about wormholes a little bit. So I think it was just kind of confirming, like, yeah, her theory was probably correct. But I mean, I don't know. After watching Obsession, I'm definitely starting to prefer when things are more ambiguous because it's more fun to speculate. And I think this one gave just enough to where you're like, okay, it kind of explained what it is without going into too much detail. So
Yeah.
I thought that aspect was fine.
I like the I like that you really don't get the full explanation of everything that's going on. I think that especially in a movie like this with dinosaurs and time travel and wormholes, I feel like it's just better and a lot more easier to digest with certain audiences, especially in the family, because they're trying to send this towards families. I feel like it's just better that way. And I feel like it could have got too muddled up with trying to explain the whole story and how everything works. So I like it just being a simple wormhole happened. They're here. Dinosaurs went there. End of story.
Yeah. I mean, it would have only taken one. They could have added the Cloverfield monster in there, and then it would have been
no, Derek, no Cloverfield monsters, never. Cut it.
Yeah. And then the final shot of the movie, J.J. Abrams comes in and flips us off and goes, my movie.
Yeah.
When the credits rolled and I saw his name, I was like, God damn it, he got me again.
You didn't know it was J.J.?
He was on everything. No, I had no idea he produced it.
Oh, dude, the little robot came out.
Awesome,
yeah, Bad Robot.
I got there a little late.
Bad Robot.
Like
gotcha.
Did you guys like Giacchino's score on this one?
I did. To me, it felt a little restrained though. Like it went for that like classic Spielberg vibe, but it never felt like its own thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree.
It never wowed me. Yeah.
Especially when you listen to one of my favorite scores by him is the Batman score. I think it's beautiful. It has this amazing crescendo at the end. And I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of that with this. And you can tell they are trying to make this feel very Spielberg and just those kind of 80s cool monster movies. And I feel like just at times the score doesn't quite match with how cool I felt like times of the movies were.
It very much felt like he was going for like the John Williams, vibe. But I thought his score for Super 8 was much better.
I didn't even know that was
that one
Giacchino
too, which is also J.J. Abrams.
That movie's so good.
Yeah, Super 8 to me is like I would probably that's either like no, I think I would put that one up higher. I think I definitely like Super 8 more than this one. That might be like a soft 4.5 for me.
I think that's what I had.
I agree.
4.5.
Super 8. I like Super 8 a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Ryan watched that in Chronicle, I think in like back-to-back days, just randomly in my basement. And both of them were like, wow, these are like great movies. Like they are so well done with these small budgets and unique stories. I love both of those movies.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, one of the main things that I think really boosted the score for me was just the fact that there's so many movies that come out with double the budget and they're like nowhere near as good as this one. And that's huge to me. I wanted this movie to do better just so, studios would be like, okay, like people do want these like, higher end of the mid-budget level films that are more about the high concept than it is necessarily like, um just being like a straightforward popcorn movie. Like it did it to me, I found it really engaging for what it was.
No,
Like
I
it seemed
was
like it
locked
had
in.
something for everybody.
I feel like the problem with what's going on with Hollywood, we always talk about sequels and not original storytelling, but I feel like horror is taking such a mainstream approach, and I love horror. Derek, of course, I know you love horror. Ryan has grown into a bigger horror fan. And I feel like it's one of those things that they aren't really giving outside of horror the chances, because horror, you have these movies that have a $300,000 budget, make millions and millions of dollars. And then they try and put something out like this that's probably going to break. I think will make more than its budget, but not by much. So I wish this would perform just enough that they see that I still want these popcorn movies that are unique and they're original and they're very different than what we normally get. Not just another sequel and not something, or not a original film that's just sequel bait for another one. I want singular movies that I don't need a sequel. I don't need to watch another movie to understand. And I feel like that's just the way we need to go in Hollywood to make original filmmaking more pure, which I feel like this was. And it's gonna stink if this doesn't get set up Hollywood to do more of these kind of sci-fi movies.
Yeah, Warner Brothers did this one, right? So it's probably gonna go to HBO Max, right? Or is it just, what is it called now?
Well, it's Max.
Is it HBO Max?
HBO Max
They
again.
keep changing the
went
damn
back.
name.
And
Anyways, it's gonna go to HBO, and I think
buy it.
it'll. Right, yeah, I think it's gonna go to HBO, and it's gonna make a killing on there. It's gonna, stay #1 for a month or something. But yeah, I don't see it doing more than, well, no, to break even, it would have to do
It's 160.
2.5 times 85, right? So yeah, I don't see it making a profit unless it like does super well overseas. But I don't know. I haven't paid attention to like the release strategy on this one. What is it grossed worldwide?
Engine Oak Street.
I think maybe like I got 21 domestic and then 47
40. Oof. That is a rough international.
Not a good number.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be considered probably a disappointment. I don't see this one having legs.
They should have stayed with those original dates. It was originally May 16th of 2025, and then it was March 13th of 2026. And then it just ended up, I mean, I know it does feel like a summer popcorn flick, but it also now had to go up against Spider-Man and The Odyssey, which they had to have known going into it that it wasn't going to beat either one of those projects.
Yeah.
Spider-Man could have debuted at a 50 and done that. Yeah.
The end of summer movies too, because like right now kids are getting ready for school. Like there's a lot of stuff happening, so it's tough to kind of get out. Like it makes sense kind of to have that like last movie for the summer, but it's also, I think this would have done better. Like you said March 13th. I think that could have been pretty good for it. Or if they got, like,
good
an
March
early
movie
June release or something. It would have been a little better, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kids are back in school where I am. I don't know if they are where you are, Derek, but I know where Ryan's at, they are not back.
Not yet.
Yeah, they are back here.
Yeah. I was going to say this film release thing has a little bit of controversy surrounding it. They got the AI video of the dog, which I think Warner Brothers, that might have been one of the worst decisions they've made. Like, that was just a terrible decision to put that out. You know how people feel about AI. And the dog is a real dog in the movie. Why do the whole AI thing? Why not just try and do like a fake interview with the dog where it's a human talking to the dog and the dog's just barking for AI?
And he just sniffs the mic and stuff.
Like something so simple. Why the AI?
Yeah, no, that definitely had to hurt a little bit, because they're especially when it comes to the cinephiles, they're very much like, if you do anything with AI, even if it's marketing, which marketing, it doesn't bother me as much, but it still was like, oof, definitely like it like I said, it can't. When it comes to the cinephiles, they put their foot down, about any use of AI at all. So that definitely didn't help.
I think I'm on the side of like Civil War got all that shit for with the posters and stuff. To me, that
drove me nuts, man.
See, like
that
drove me nuts.
Nuts.
See, I love the posters. I didn't know at first, but I do love posters. I have a problem when it's the actual project doing this. The AI. I mean, I hate the dog video. Don't get me wrong. That's put right to like Facebook moms and Minion memes. But it bothers me most when it's just in the actual project, like Ice Cream Man, Eli Roth's new film, which I was actually excited to watch, and I know it's not going to be good. But man, doing the actual AI in the film really turned me off from ever going to see it.
What turned me off like big time about that was Eli Roth lying about it. He claimed to have hand drawn the stuff in the film, and then he's like, "Oh, actually, I didn't." I'm like, "All right, then I'm actually not going to go see the movie." Like,
I have a weird thing with Eli Roth is that oh my god, what was the horror movie about the dude that was like sleepwalking? Came out a couple months, like a year ago. Dream Eaters. Did you watch it, Derek?
No.
Oh, so it was like an indie film that like kind of blew up because Eli Roth ended up helping distribute it. Well,
right.
We had talked to. I mean, I was in talks with Dream Eaters about doing like an early screening. We were going to interview them and everything. And then he got like in charge of it, and Foley was like, "You guys aren't getting a screener. You guys aren't watching it early. No episode." And like Foley got rid of all of our stuff with them. So I have a little thing with Eli Roth, but now the AI thing kind of made me a little happy.
When it came to Civil War, the issue I had with them using AI for the marketing and the posters with that is it was kind of misrepresenting the scale and like scope of the movie, because it's very like. Yeah, that to me that felt more like a road trip film that was very like, you know, it was coming from this more small contained approach, and these movies are making it look like you're going to see like, you know, the Statue of Liberty being blown up or something, and it's just not. It wasn't that kind of movie. So that's what bothered me with that one. But
did you not like the movie?
Yeah, the AI dog thing, it's like. Whatever, I guess, you know, it definitely didn't. I rolled my eyes at it, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm not seeing the movie now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up what some of its box office numbers are right now. Is that it went up against? When you look it up, what it went up against, it shows you Paw Patrol is the movie that it was battling it out with. Paw Patrol.
Well, because it's a dinosaur movie as well.
Yeah, it's the. It made $2 million in its opening Thursday previews, but it's everything I'm reading is that it's not going to really reach that number that it would need to for people to start really believing and putting more of these movies out there. Well, you know what? Yeah. We'll get another superhero movie in December? Is that when Doomsday comes out now? December 18th?
Yeah, December 17th, I think.
In Infinity Vision.
Dune moved up its release. Did you guys see that? Dune moved up its release thing technically by 4 days.
Wait, what?
Dune's releasing 4 days early technically. Not wide, it's only for IMAX screenings. So for 4 days it's fully like IMAX like specialty screenings across the country. So that I feel like that they're like, we need to have a couple days of just Dune. Because me and Ryan have talked about it. It's gonna be I want Dune to do great numbers because I think it's gonna be great. But it's Doomsday, even if you were mad at Marvel, it's still going to put up crazy numbers.
Yeah. Especially after Spider-Man being so good and making as much money as it did, I think the Marvel hype is a little bit back.
I got to be honest, though. I have not been impressed with the Doomsday trailers, like, at all.
That first trailer was not strong. I felt better about the second one. Not high enough that I'm, like, hype, but more than that
second
first
one had
trailer.
AI in it.
Did it?
Yeah, I think one of the Russo brothers said that they couldn't like have the VFX for that shot of like Doom like flying up and landing, so they used AI to do that for the trailer.
Oh, no.
My goodness, man! Should have kept your mouth shut.
Yeah, you should just shut up at that point, Russo's.
Yeah. That is bad. But I guess, did he say like they did it for the trailer, but they're going to actually make it for the movie?
Yeah, he said it was simply just like a time thing, but and I think he addressed it because people said it looked like AI. Yeah. And I went back and looked, I'm like, yeah, I could see how that looks like AI.
Yeah.
But
damn.
Gotcha.
Well, Dune's going to be let's talk about the better movie that's releasing that day. Derek, do you love the Dune duology so far? That's going to be a trilogy.
Yes. I think after the second one came out, it kind of made me not like the pace of the first one a little bit more, because it was, the first one was very slow, even though it was epic and I loved it. The second one was incredible, like legitimately, like blew me away. And so this one, I'm very curious to see, because I don't know, I haven't read the books or anything like that, but I know where it's going because I've seen people discuss it, you know.
Mhm.
And that's a very dark turn. So I'm curious to see how people react to that. You know, the normies.
I had to have a whole conversation with my parents about Dune the other day because my mom hates Timothy Chalamet. Like, there's something in her mind that she just can't get behind him. Like, since he's been in film.
Is she a
And
fan
she,
of ballet? Is that why?
I mean, my mom does love theater and ballet, so that probably didn't help his case with my mom. But we were like talking about. She's like, I don't even get what Dune's about. And I was trying to explain. I was like, think of Star Wars, but before Star Wars, but like no lightsabers. It's like Star Wars took everything from Dune, and like that's what helped George Lucas come up with the idea. And then I was like, but we're only doing the first two books because eventually there's like a giant space worm that like falls in love, and Timothy Chalamet's character eventually becomes a space worm. I was like, it's like a crazy story. So we're only gonna follow the first two books out of like the 7 I think there are with Frank Herbert. But my mom was
Yeah.
just trying to understand like the whole like idea of Dune. I was like, it's hard to explain. I got nothing else for you, Mom.
Dude, I got asked that in class one time. It was like a business class, and for whatever reason, the professor made like a Dune reference to explain something, and then I forget how it happened, but she would like ask the question like, "Does anybody know where this is from?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Dune." She's like, "All right, Ryan, can you explain Dune for us real quick?" And I was like,
And you're like, oh,
"What?" Like, no, I can't. I was like, "I don't know. Space. There's this drug called spot, and I don't really know how to describe it. How deep do I go?"
that's insane. Way
Like,
to
"Can't use
put you on the
guns
spot.
anymore." Oh, totally on the spot. And I was like, "Oh god."
Well, I wanted to first off before I want to get to Hunters and talk a little bit about that, Derek, if we can.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
does everyone have a favorite scene from the movie? One last thing about End of Oak Street before we get into that.
I like the snake scene.
Snake scene was cool.
Snake scene was creepy.
I like, honestly, like it's not just one scene, but like the whole sequence when like they're like figuring out what the hell just happened. Like to me, that was my favorite. Like the mysteriousness of it, and like them like realizing like holy shit, like there's dinosaurs everywhere. That to me was the most fun.
Yeah, I think I'm between. I did really like when Anne Hathaway and Ewan both go on like to figure out where the dog is, try and see what's going on. And I love the shot at the end of that scene when the car comes back, the neighbor, and like goes like up on the grass and runs out of the car. Like it just adds like that mysterious like reaction, and you're getting to see
Yeah.
not just the main characters but everyone else's reaction. My favorite scene though is when the lady gets grabbed when they're running away. When they're always like, "What was that?" It just gets absolutely snatched on the front porch. That got an out loud laugh from me.
What the hell is going on? Yeah,
Just gets snatched
eaten.
up.
That was good. I also liked when the T-Rex or whatever it was chasing him before Ewan McGregor gets chomped. I liked how they were like kind of like hitting it to make it chase somebody else. Like it was chasing the kids, and then Ewan McGregor got his attention, and then Anne Hathaway shot it. I thought that was cool. Like just getting its attention and having it chase somebody else before it gets him. That was good.
Yeah.
And they give you a nice hint of why Anne Hathaway's so good with the gun. They show that she was a award-winning marksman on the wall.
That's where the direction, like I said, like there was a lot of stuff that could have been like, you know, mom is like, you know, she was an excellent marksman in the Girl Scouts or some bullshit, you know, like but no, it was a lot of like showing and not telling. I liked when, you know, like there's emotional stuff happening. They're like doing some split diopter shot where you're getting some family photos in there too. By the way, the technical side of it, that was my favorite thing about it. Like it almost looks like it was shot on film, but it, you know, obviously it wasn't. And I paid more attention to that the second time. Like it really did look like they had the little white specks that would pop up like it was being projected on film. I liked that. The split diopter shots were some of the best split diopter shots I've seen in a long time. That whole family conversation about like what does this mean? Is the world ending? Like all those split diopter shots where they're like sitting around crisscross. Loved that. That was very cool.
My favorite one was the favorite time they used that shot was when the son is talking to Anne Hathaway, and it's laid like directly over his shoulder, and you see the hair. Because that made it feel intimate. I did say to Ryan, I felt like a couple times it was over you. There's something with those shots. I feel like mixing them in so well is like such like a beautiful shot. It's kind of like how I felt about Little Things. They do a lot of the fisheye shots, and I feel like just a little bit maybe for me, in my opinion, was that they just used it a couple too many times.
The other thing about those split diopter shots is a lot of times when you see them used in movies, that line of separation on the lens is like really distracting. They hit it very well in all these shots. Like it was always like on a curtain or like right on a shadow, and it was like very seamless. Because I think if they didn't do that, that would have annoyed me. I was like, all right, like we're using a little too much here, but it was so well executed that that was just the cinematography is one of the things I loved.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think we're pretty good. I will say, Ewan McGregor's American accent is not very good. It's not like distracting.
Hello there.
It sounds so forced. I don't know why.
Anne Hathaway, I was down on Hathaway. I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. I was a little bit down on Hathaway the last couple of years. She was so good as Penelope. I think Verity, a book that I read in 3 days, come at me, anyone. I love that book. And she looks fantastic. I don't know if you guys got Verity as a trailer before this.
Mm-mm.
I was super excited for it.
The one where she's like in the wheelchair. That one.
Yeah, it's based off like a really
that
famous
looks messed
book.
up. Some of the trailers they played before this, I was really surprised by because like there's families and stuff, and like they're showing like the Resident Evil trailer, and like I'm just like, damn, okay.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of something. Okay, so oh my god, which dinosaur was it? There's a dinosaur that gets munched in this. It's one of the herbivores. But there was me, then there was this mom and this little kid. And this little kid is like pointing up at each dinosaur and knows the full dinosaur name and is like literally explaining it to his parents. This kid was like 5 years old. And I'm like listening. I'm like, wow, this kid is so smart. Like I could never know it. I knew a T-Rex and that was it. And he's talking and this one dinosaur shows up. And he's like, Mom, that's my favorite. That's a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All this stuff about it. The next shot is the T-Rex snatches it and just munches.
Yeah, are you talking about when it's like eating the tomatoes?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, shit had me like I was laughing because it's like such a like you got like the little score like hyping up like oh what's gonna happen next, and you see like the characters like running off in the distance, and there's the dinosaur just minding its own business, and it just like super violently gets pulled away. I'm like, damn.
And the little kid goes, Mama. And I had to like cover my mouth. I was like, don't laugh at the little child having like a heartbreak moment. But yeah, I meant to write that down, not to forget. But yeah, his every dinosaur that they showed, he like pointed and he said something. But yeah, so he's like, that's my favorite. And then just gets absolutely snatched in front of the kid. And he was so devastated.
I had a lady get shushed in my theater.
Oh,
I don't know if she was on the phone or what, but she was trying to say the name of the movie. End of Oak Street, but she couldn't get it right. She was like, I'm watching, I don't know, it's like The End of the Road, I think it's something like that. And somebody loud as hell just goes, shh. And she just goes, all right, fine, I'll stop talking. It was hilarious.
We all had a theater experience. Derek's screen didn't work. I had a little kid that was the smartest kid I've ever met. And Ryan had a lady that wouldn't stop talking on the phone.
Who didn't know the title of the movie she was watching.
No idea.
End of the road.
End of the street. Something.
Nightmare on Oak Street. It's something like
Nightmare
on
Oak Street.
Yeah.
Well, that's our review of End of Oak Street. Now going to something that I'm very excited to talk about with you, Derek. And that is your new project, Hunters. And just, if you want to give our audience just a quick little synopsis about it, what has been going on with this project?
Yeah, so Hunters is a short film that I got hired to direct, produce, and edit last year after the success of Pollo Loco. So it was, to me, an opportunity to really work on the technical aspects of filmmaking. And I helped kind of like trim the screenplay and stuff, but for the most part, like it wasn't my story. So that was also a fun challenge to like direct somebody else's script. But it is about a hunting retreat where two of the workers at this hunting camp have a bit of a conflict with one of the wealthy guests there, and without giving anything else away, it gets a little bloody. So yeah, I sent the trailer to you guys. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out.
I got to check it out. Ryan did not. Which is on me because I didn't send it to Ryan. I was at work.
I would have watched it.
So what'd you think, Tommy?
I mean, the lead actor in this, the male lead, the female lead, very good, subtle acting. Doesn't have as much dialogue as the male does. He is creepy as hell in the trailer.
He is like the nicest guy ever, too, in real life.
He was literally like acting. I'm like, I would not want to walk into this guy like at nighttime. He would tell me the creepiest story of just him going to like the bar. Like, it wouldn't be a bad thing that happened, but his like voice and the way he was acting in the scene, it looked really good. I'm very excited.
Awesome. Yeah. That one is in festivals right now. It should be dropping on YouTube around like November, December, depending on, how the rest of the festival run goes. I think we got like another 25 or 30 notifications we're waiting on, but so far it's I think he's gotten like 10 awards. It's gotten into a little over 10 festivals. I did a smaller run for this one compared to Pollo Loco. With Pollo Loco being like about 26 minutes long, I really thought the runtime was gonna keep it from getting into any festivals, and that turned out to get into a bunch. So
I mean, it was
this was about half the submissions, and it's I think the selection rate's right around the same. But yeah, no, I the thing that I really, when it does come out, I will release the trailer probably a couple of days before it drops, so everybody can see that. But really, what I want people to pay attention to with that one is just kind of the improvement and, like I said, the technical aspects from Pollo Loco to that, because this was essentially a really big opportunity to focus on cinematography and sound design. So that's I'm looking forward to seeing what people think of it from that aspect for sure.
Yeah, I got a lot of people today that were like, I'm assuming most of the people knew who you were, like, just when I posted, and people were like, "What's this?" I was like, "Derek Bauder," and they're like, "Why are you using that guy's poster for this guy coming on your show?" And I was like, "No, that is the guy in the poster. Like, why else would I put this poster up?"
That's weird.
But no, I mean, both times you've been on the show, people have been super excited to hear you talk. And Pollo Loco was fantastic as a debut short.
Thank you.
And you have the feature. Are you allowed to tell us anything about the feature?
Yeah, right now, so I did the assembly cut, which was finished about a month ago. So now I'm kind of like in the polishing, working towards picture lock aspect of it. It's about an hour and 45 minutes with the credits. And it is about a teenager and his grieving mother who move into his grandfather's home. And turns out something moved in with them. It's PG-13 coming of age ghost story, very much in the vein of like early M. Night Shyamalan. We shot it for $60,000, and it looks like post-production is going to be about $30K when it's said and done. So made a feature for $90,000, and so far I'm very, very thankful for how it turned out. It's very character driven. So if you liked those aspects of End of Oak Street, you're probably going to really like this, because that is essentially the main focus of the film, is the characters. But yeah, there's some spooky stuff going on, and really excited to get that finished probably in December. We're going to be moving into sound design and color next month, which are, the final stages of post-production. I wrote, directed, obviously I'm editing it. I was one of the main producers, so I did a lot of the logistical stuff, which for a feature was very mentally taxing. But we shot for 20 days in March, so I had my 30th birthday on set, which was really cool. But yeah, I mean, it's my first feature, so I'm very excited to get that out into the world. I don't know how it's going to get out into the world yet. I've got a couple different plans of how to get this thing distributed. but we're gonna see what festivals think. I've got some distributors who have shown some interest, and they're like, "Is there a rough cut we could see?" And I'm like, "I'm not showing anybody anything until it's done because I don't like watching rough cuts. I think rough cuts do not represent the the quality of the film, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'll definitely have to keep you guys in the loop on that.
Well, I do have to say something, Derek. One of your producers and me had a long conversation about possibly getting on the set for that, and he pretty much told me that I wasn't allowed to help work on the project with you. And if you don't remember who this producer was, it was you yourself. Me, you talked about this,
yes.
and Derek broke my heart.
Oh my gosh, man! I gotta be like totally honest with you.
Made me cry.
I probably had a couple hundred people trying to get on that set, and I was not going to have anybody on the set that I couldn't pay fairly. And I think the backlash of Obsession and how that all went is a perfect example of why I did that.
Yeah.
I did not want anybody on the set that I felt was like, an indentured servant over here. So, but I mean, the next one, I can't talk about what I'm working on next because it's a much, I would say it's a higher concept film. That I, hope that I can get a bigger budget after this one, obviously, having done this one mostly myself. But it was funny because I'm like, oh, what producer said what? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
No, your face, you were like, oh, yeah, God, like, who did this to him?
Yeah, I'm like, who would say something? But yeah, no, I really wanted you to be there. But, the other thing was like we got to shoot at this like $800,000 house for essentially free. And so one of the requests was just like, try not to have too many people there. And we already had people visiting from like the Indiegogo campaign and stuff like that. So unfortunately it didn't work out, Tommy, but I hope on the next one we can get you there.
It's fine. I'm not holding a grudge for this or anything. I definitely didn't plan this episode just to
It was not an easy decision to make. Every person I had to like tell no, it just I felt terrible.
Well, it seemed pretty easy, Derek. You forgot that we had the conversation. No, it was actually, so the way it worked out, that time frame ended up working out perfect because I ended up getting, so like it didn't work out and I was super like, oh, that sucked. But funny enough, it ended up opening up another door that I got to go work on a different project, which was nice because I'd never got to be an armorer before. And they brought it up to me with like military background stuff. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And it ended up being like one of my favorite things I've done. And it opened some more doors to hopefully get to do more of that in the future. I got my first acting role since then, so that was pretty cool. But so
nice, but yeah, man. Congrats.
When you denied me, I was like, I'm gonna do everything to get on this guy's next set. I'm gonna be a diva. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, it again, I felt bad having to turn everybody down. But I really, for a 20-day shoot, like I didn't want anybody feeling like, because I mean there was people there who got paid fairly that were like, this is a lot of work, like it was a really grueling shoot to do with such a small crew. But yeah, no, I believe everything works out the way it's supposed to. So I'm glad to hear that opened up the opportunity to do some other stuff. So that's good.
Yeah,
man.
The director came up to me while we were shooting. He's like, dude, he's like, this is so tiring. He's like, this is such a hard, like, this is just so hard, all this. And in my head, I'm like, dude, I haven't done anything. I was like, I've been sitting here watching these guns, like, and there was some great times where I got to direct the scene to make sure no one was getting actual guns pointed at them. Not that there was any live firearms on set, which was super fun. But like, I'm like sitting there just watching, which was great because I got to like see that whole side of production. But the whole time he's like, yeah, the actors were tired, and I was like, man, like I'm just sitting here sipping on an energy drink. Like this is not like killing me. But yeah, I definitely get like. That must have been an insane shoot for 20 days for 60,000. Like that's a hard feature to do, especially a debut.
Yeah, no, it was definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done, and it couldn't have gone better. So very happy with how it turned out. It's called Around Midnight, by the way. I should probably mention the title. But yeah, I'm hoping to get it out there towards the end of next year or like early 2028. It obviously depends on festivals, how the distribution goes and stuff like that. I've got some connections that I'm definitely going to hit up and be like, hey, You what do you think? You want to try and like, help mentor me here and get this distributed? And so we'll see what happens. But I definitely tried to punch above my weight class for the budget we had. And I think having access to that house, the actors that I was able to get cast in this, you'll see Justin Peach, who was this older fellow that you were mentioning in Hunters for being really creepy. He gets to kind of play more of like the happy grandpa in this one, and which
Perfect.
is much more like what he is in real life. So I'm really excited to see what people think of his performance in both of these films. But yeah, no, Around Midnight is like like I said, I wrote that one, so that's solely like my baby. And yeah, it's been a long process, but can't wait for people to hear and see more about it soon. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to see it. I know all of our listeners are going to be super excited to watch it when everything comes out. And yeah, and I know we'll make sure to get you back on when all that comes about to talk more about it. And that'll be super exciting to get to do.
yeah, I'd love to come back on here for that. Maybe even Hunters if you're up for it.
Yeah.
Because that one, like I said, I didn't want to give anything away because it's only 14 minutes, but that one goes to a pretty dark place. Like arguably darker than Pollo Loco, I would say.
That's a hard
So.
that's a hard sell to people, Derek. That's not a happy movie either.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple fan questions, and then we'll have our recommendation of the week, and then we'll get out of here. Does that sound good to everyone?
Sounds great.
Sweet.
Perfect. So first question, this is from Mike. This is directly to you, Danny. Most of these questions are, me and Ryan are just here to tell you what the question is. So
Okay.
You've built an audience of millions as Danny DeRito, but you're also pursuing filmmaking. If you could completely step away from content creation, is that something you'd be interested in, to only go into filmmaking?
No, I think content creation is the reason why I am like where I am in life right now, and to step away from that completely, like just I wouldn't feel good about it. And also, the whole reason why I chose to pursue content creation was to build an audience while I tried to figure out how to navigate filmmaking as a career. And so even if it turns into like I'm only posting like 2 or 3 times a week, which right now I think I post like 8 to 10 times a week, I will continue doing it no matter what. But I will say, like, over the years, like the amount of content I used to do like has definitely like taken its toll. I mean, when I first started, I was literally posting 10 times a day.
Wow.
So, if you think about it, like 70 times a week, like
that
to
made me
be
feel
now
so bad
down to
about
like 10
myself.
times a week, much more manageable. So
That's an insane. I mean, I feel like I'm posting a lot. I post like 12 times a week. I'm like, wow, I'm really killing it right now. You just said 70. That is a crazy number, Derek.
I mean, that was obviously not sustainable for more than like I think we only did that for maybe like 3 or 4 months, and then it slowly kind of, like then it was like, all right, we're gonna post 8 times a day, and then 5, and then 3, and so over the course of 6.5 years, it's gone from 10 times a day to once or twice a day.
Wow. Okay, this question is from Hannah. What's one movie that completely changed the way that you looked at filmmaking? And have you tried to incorporate it in the way that you've directed?
Drive and Signs are 2 movies that come straight to
Signs.
mind.
I love Signs.
Yeah.
That's not like a hate on Signs.
Wait, what?
I said I love Signs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Signs is a big inspiration for Around Midnight and how that one plays out. So that's I would say Signs is probably the biggest influence, but the one that really made me go, yeah, I want to make movies is Drive, because Drive is such a like classic, been done 1,000 times plot, but it's executed in such a unique and different style that it just completely opened my mind to like, oh, there is different ways to tell a story that's been done a bunch of times. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel to make a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's my answer. Signs, in terms of like making a character driven movie that balances those scares and thrills the way it does, and then Drive just in terms of like approaching stuff with your own unique style.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like we can answer this one a little bit. We haven't gotten to do as much of the filmmaking side thing, but we wrote the script, which I remember telling Ryan about. And then it was just called Alone at the time, which was hugely inspired by The Strangers, which is like on my Mount Rushmore of like favorite movies. I mean, a movie that terrifies me to this day. Brian Bertino, love him for that. And the whole script got done. And Brian Bertino, through a friend of ours, ended up reading it. And like, I have a little signed copy somewhere by him. And he was like, hey, I really enjoyed this. And it's all about like a home invasion thing. So that was like the coolest moment like ever. And so just to have him be like, hey, I really liked it. And I'm going to be so mad. The director of Hell House also read it. My God, I can't remember his name. But yeah, so to have those kind of moments are always really cool.
That's awesome.
This is the movie guy. You've experienced both sides of entertainment, creating content for millions of people and actually making films. What's something about the film industry that surprised you once you got behind the camera?
I think one thing that surprised me was like, when you're shooting a film, it is incredibly difficult to explain to people, or at least kind of like, I guess explain, like just to communicate the vision with people while you're filming, even though you kind of know what it's going to be in your head. I mean, it is. I've seen short films while we're filming it where I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome, and it turns out completely different than I thought because they went a different tone with it. So I think what surprised me the most is just like, you cannot tell when you're on a set if something is good or not. Like I think you can tell if something's bad, but you can't tell if something's good.
Mm-hmm.
Not until you're in post. But the other cool thing is that like in post, you can manipulate a film into something completely different than you originally set out to make. Which I personally have never done, but I've seen it happen with other stuff, and it always surprises me. I'm like, whoa, that feels completely different than what we shot. So that it just really opened my eyes to how much a film can change in the entire process of production. Like, you know, obviously you have the script, but that can change on set. And then when you're in post actually editing things, I mean, I've always really surprised myself with cutting dialogue. I'm like, wow, I can cut things, and not only does it like not impact the story, but it like reinforces the story to not have as many words and leave things more ambiguous, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, I think that answers the question.
No, I would say it did.
Okay.
We and you said you can never tell if a movie's bad on set. Well, you said that. How
I know you can't tell if it's good.
Yeah. We could
can
definitely tell that our
something's
short
bad,
was bad,
but-
Derek.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan were on set.
You can't tell what?
Me and Ryan were on set for our short a couple years ago. We're like, this is not good. We are so not ready to get behind the camera yet.
But I mean, I think the important thing to keep in mind, because I think a lot of people get cold feet and freeze up when they like, there's so many people out there I've talked to who, you know, for years they talk about making something, and I'm like, dude, just go make it. They're like, I don't know, I don't have that much money. Maybe I'll save more. And I'm like, dude, like you have to make some clunky films to learn the process and get the experience that you need to make good films. So yeah, I mean, it's all part of the process, man.
Derek just
and at least short films are much more forgiving. If you make a bad short film, you just don't acknowledge, you know, you just don't have to talk about it. But you spend a bunch of money on a feature, like people are gonna know.
Yeah. Well, that just gave me so much. This just boosted my ego a little bit. Thank you, Derek. Going into this last question is from Pete. This is for all of us. If you could pick one actor, one director, and one studio to work with you on a dream movie, who are you choosing, and what is the genre?
Oh man, I hate questions like this personally. But I mean, if there was one director I could work with, I mean, I would love to watch Nolan work, man. I would love to watch Nolan work. Yeah. To see that guy's process on set, and like, I mean, everybody says that like literally there'll be a shitstorm going on, and he's just like cool as a cucumber about
drinking
it.
His black tea.
Yeah.
He's always drinking black tea.
In terms of an actor, Jake Gyllenhaal, maybe. think Jake Gyllenhaal would be another one, or like James McAvoy. Both of those guys they just transform, you know. Because I feel like Daniel Day-Lewis is like the cliche answer, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's retired.
But,
Let's leave him in retirement. Leave Daniel.
Yeah.
Let him rest.
And then I mean, it's
weirdly underrated. Like people don't talk about him, but he's fantastic.
about who?
James McAvoy.
Oh yeah, did you guys watch? Fuck, I don't remember the name of it. That one
Speak
that
No Evil?
that just came out. Yeah,
horror-
dude.
yeah.
I mean, I know it was a remake, but I mean,
He was
James
good.
McAvoy was scary in that movie,
He was
dude.
jacked beyond belief.
Yeah.
Like, he was way bigger than I thought he would. Because in the trailers, he's muscular. There's a scene where he like gets everything going, and I was like, "Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, this dude is huge." No, he was really good. He's the best part of that movie. He was fantastic. Ryan, do you want to?
And then in terms
Oh,
of
yeah,
a genre, I would say either crime or horror. Like those are the two genres that I love the most, I think.
That's a good one.
Yeah, my brain went very specific. I'm gonna go with Shane Black, Ryan Gosling in a police comedy. Please God, make the nice guys too. I don't know why.
I just met him and talked to him about that.
Shane
and
Black?
It's never happening. Yeah, it's
Oh.
unfortunately Nice Guys 2
Oh.
is never happening, man.
Damn
They're
it.
just too expensive, and the movie didn't do well enough because of fucking Angry Birds.
Angry Birds
It's insane.
fucked it all up for the rest of us. God
Angry
dang it.
Birds too.
But yeah, Shane Black is the shit, man. Super,
Yeah.
just like no bullshit, cool guy.
Seems like an awesome guy.
Oh, if I can. Oh yeah, Ryan. Oh, yeah, you already said cop movie. I'm gonna go. Again, I'm gonna mention him again. Brian Bertino. I don't know if anyone's seen The Dark and the Wicked. It's a movie he did in like 2019. It's fantastic. It's very like folklore
Haven't seen
horror.
that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I highly recommend. It's like one of my highest rated horror movies. But I know everyone's talking about, but Robert Pattinson. Ryan can vouch for me. I have been on the Robert Pattinson train since I was like 16 years old. So I just want to see him do more horror. It would just have to be horror. I don't know where Brian Bertino would go with Robert Pattinson, but I would hope he would direct it like how he directed Liv Tyler and The Strangers, where it's very much like almost lying to the actors when you tell Liv Tyler, "Oh, they're going to come from this way," and then they would come from a different direction. And her screams a lot of the time were genuine. So to get those like real emotions out of your actors and having someone as good as Robert Pattinson, I think would be fantastic. So
Yeah,
that's, like, my
I
perfect
think
pitch.
horror is definitely the genre I would choose now that I think about it more, because horror is one of those genres that you can blend with any genre you want, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love horror. So I'm probably gonna watch a horror movie after I finish this recording. But yeah, last thing before we get out of here is what would everyone recommend to the audience this week?
This week.
No saying Pollo Loco, Derek.
Like in terms of a movie,
Anything,
or
movie,
just
video
anything?
games, show.
I just beat Resident Evil 9 finally.
Oh,
So recommend that. Great game.
I haven't played it yet. I'm so behind. Ryan, you want to go?
I don't know. I mean, we want to go games? I guess I'll go with a game. I'm in the middle of Subnautica Below Zero right now.
Oh shit,
I
we're going
want to
games?
finish that before I play Subnautica 2 because I love Subnautica 1. But so I'm
Nice.
right in the middle of that right now. It's very fun.
Game. Okay. So me and Ryan have been playing this game called The Big Walk. It is this like it's Derek, it is beautiful.
It's
It is just the most
The
peaceful
Big
game.
Walk.
You like
Big
slip and fall. Like there's no injuries, there's no dying, there's no monsters. It's just like a peaceful puzzle solving game. Well, it should be peaceful unless you have our other friend with me singing in my ear the whole time.
He's a
But
terrorist.
outside But it is a beautiful game. It is so nice to play. It's actually kind of scary at nighttime because it's super dark. But I definitely would recommend everyone play The Big Walk. It is very fun. It is very fun to play with your friends. All prox chat. It's just a lot of fun. It's very simple and very pretty.
$20 game too. Cool.
Oh, it was free on PlayStation, which was even better. So
yeah,
that-
this
if
looks
you guys are on
cool. I
PlayStation.
added it to my wish list.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's very
I'm gonna
fun.
expect a full review from you now. I'm gonna be like messaging you
Oh,
every day.
I
Like,
gotta
"Did you
review
start The
games
Big
too
Walk?"
now, huh?
But thank you again, Derek, for coming to join us and talk about everything, your projects, End of Oak Street. We got to talk about what we would want to do in horror. But yeah, thank you for coming on the show again.
Thanks for having me. This is always a blast.
Yeah, look at that. We're a great podcast to have people like to come on. But yeah, Ryan, is there anything you want to add to the audience before we get out of here?
No, I think we're good. Good time.
Just easy going. Well, make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. Make sure to go follow Derek. Derek, do you want to shout out your actual name?
Yeah, I'm Danny Dorito 23 everywhere, and then I've been very religiously logging on Letterboxd, so go follow the Letterboxd.
Oh, I gotta follow you on. How many reviews do you have?
I think I'm somewhere around 500.
I thought you were gonna say 2,000. I was like, this guy definitely has
No, I
Letterboxd.
recently within the last 6 months got really serious about it. So.
Great app. Go follow us on Letterboxd too. It's a great app. And yeah, we will see you guys in next week's episode when we talk about lanterns.